Hey, Ferruccio Laviani, it's so great to see you again. I was just saying to your colleague there that the last time I interviewed you was 2010. Tell me everything that's happened since then in detail. We've got the next 5 hours.
So, too
What
many
happened?
things happen.
No.
Let's say that things have changed, but I try to fix my points of view of the one that was from the beginning. So I try to be positive in my design and my proposal. It's also not just about the object, about interior and everything else. I still using color to give some positive vibes, and I think this is very important. And well, I think that also this situation, the moment that we are living now, maybe give you the opportunity to make some chance and try to make something different, probably because you want to go a little bit far, and it's exciting from some points of view. I don't know, maybe it's the optimistic points of view of an old man now, not more of a young designer.
Well, I mean, I think it's an understatement to say we live in volatile times and crisis times. And I mean, it's often said that with you, there's always opportunity to recalibrate in those moments. But maybe we come on to that afterwards. I just wanted to, first of all, talk about where we are, or get you to talk about where we are at the Mara stand at the Salone del Mobile. Congratulations on this concept.
Thanks.
We're sitting up here on this sort of
Arena.
in this arena style typology. I feel like I'm on display and you're on display as much as the products are, but I guess that was the part of the concept, right?
The idea was a little bit like a Greek theater, the people were sitting there discussing about things. I mean, I don't want to be Platon or something like that, but I don't have also this references, but I like to have a place like that is not just for the object, but where the people can sit, take a look, enjoy a little bit the situation, look around them, discussing, exchanging opinions. So I think it's nice to have this kind, I told you, as arena, there is not just dedicated product, but also for the people.
I mean, it has, I think it, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like it has the concept of sociability built into it. That I mean, this is something important in your design work generally. Just is design beyond its just utilitarian function? Should it try and connect us with each other?
Yes, I like, first of all, that the visitors, if we are talking about a booth, have a sort of an experience. So try to be involved in a special landscape that is represented by the booth. So I like that people come here, after they step inside, they are in a different reality. They are outside from the Salone. So there is not just the object, but there is a place that must be lived by them to discover a company, to discover the product, to discover a collection. And so I think it's helpful to have something that is not just graphically or photographically designed, but also that give an atmosphere to the place where you are. Because I think that also the visitor will remember the situation that they live, also for 5 minutes when they came to the salon, and also there will be the impression that they have in their brain of the brand for the next year. So that's why I always thought that it was very important to communicate the company through the booth.
I mean, you're absolutely right. What you leave with is how your experience of the space made you feel. I mean, you remember like 5-7 years ago, the brief that a lot of designers were getting and architects were getting for stands was make it very Instagrammable.
Yeah.
Like it was always about like how it would then be rendered in 2 dimensions on a digital device, and I think we're beyond that now.
Well, it's a matter of communication. So I mean, social will give us as a designer another point of view that was the one about the architecture that we were used before to use as a language, where we were designing a booth, for example. So it was more about architecture, to the space for living, etc., etc. With the social media, of course, everything was more about the image, the first impact you have in the place, and so everything has to work on an image that have to represent graphically the image of the company. I think that both things can live together.
Right.
I mean, you can make a real space that you can live that works also physically than virtually. So it's up to us to be so able to balance the two things and make it work.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? How a space communicates graphically when it's photographed and disseminated, as for example, on social media, but how it also operates graphically in real time when you arrive at a space as well. I guess permanent permanent spaces don't have to do that so much, you know.
But also, these things today with the different budget we have when we have to build a booth, it's make us thinking in a different way because less you build, less it costs. So we have to be able to imagine a different points of view to make the people feel in the environment of the space we are building, but at the same time to be more light. And this one is not just about structure, but it's also about, if you want a sort to sustainability of the space and of the material we use for these 7 days. And so less is more in a different way than an architectural way of we were used to imagine about a sort of economy using material to creating a space. So we have to be able, with few things, to create something that is, from one time, very wrapping for the visitors, on the other side, very graphic and very strong under the points of view of the image.
And when you're designing a space for a design brand, a temporary space like a stand, what are you trying to convey? Do you first start? Are the products the point of departure? Do you look at the products first, or do you think about the brand and what its values are, what it's trying to express as a feeling, and use that as a starting point, or is it a?
But it depends very much from what the company asking you they want to represent it with the booth. I mean, some prefer to have a very institutional booth when the company and the brand is the main communication ingredient you have to
the message.
propose to the people. And the other one is companies that prefer to focus on the product because it's about a designer, so a name of the designer, things like that. So my points of view on the project is always very, very different because it depends from how the company want to represent their own brand. It's nice because you can work on two different levels because, of course, in this case where you have different designers, you have to be able to put it under one hat, if you want. That is the brand, the company. And so also if the design are different between one product and another one, try, for example, with the color, there is a language, to make it together and give them a kind of uniformity under the points of view of the catalog. So I think that is quite interesting. And this one is the way I use, for example, for them, using sometimes a very natural or light material. Here you have the cardboard and things like that, and focus more on the product and the colors than on the booth itself.
I love the cardboard. I'm getting a little echo of Shigeru Ban a bit.
Absolutely, yes, but
And why not?
Why not? I mean, the references always exist.
Yeah.
And I think references help us to go a little bit forward. For example, all the time I say that the tulip of Zarinen in reality start from Ampere a table, so with
Yeah.
one leg and things like that. So it's
I mean, we exist in a context,
Yeah,
right? I
of
mean,
course.
yeah. And every relationship with a brand is different. Is it possible to describe what the relationship with Mara is? What the particularities are?
But you know, Mara, when they called me first, I was quite interested to know them. First of all, because they are from the Brescia province. It was the province of my father. And so Bresciani is always a very strange typology of people, very, very tough, very strong, very hardworking, a completely different vision from the other parts of Lombardy region. Another thing is that I like very much sometimes also the kinds of love and hate to work with them, because also the experience in Flos, there was like around 13 years, it was with the Bresciano company anyway. So I want to
you were familiar with that dynamic.
Yes, and so I want to understand what is changing during this 20 years with a brand like that. From the other side, I like very much they are a sort of is an industry, but with a very, very strong craftsmanship philosophy. So they start in a very artisanal way to producing object, and then they turn it in an industry out of one. So it was a good chance for me to work on something that I was not on my list before. And also the things I like very much in their catalog, the first time that I give a look, it was that they do, of course, office furniture, but with a sort of twist that makes this office furniture sometimes home furniture. And this philosophy, if you want, strategy, became very strong after the COVID, where we were obliged to work at home, and I think like that is becoming a sort of trend, and I think it's perfectly a coincidence with their own catalog. So I thought it was interesting for me, for example, to make a bookshelf that is not just a bookshelf, but it can work on an office, but it works as a divider in a home, or you can use it also in a different situation. So it was quite exciting working on the product with them.
And this is now a family of products called Elle.
Yes,
right?
it's a system.
It's a system. So it started with the bookcase, and it's now been evolved, right?
Yes, it's evolved because now we add some containers. Didn't have producing in the past, and also we are trying to make some typologies of combination. For example, there is one that is with a hanger, like an entrance, little furniture that you can use in the entrance of your house, or in a space where you need something for the clothes or something like that. So we are trying to see the whole potential we have with the structure. So the structure remains the same, but as a system, we try to make it evolve in something different, something new, adding every time new items that make it turn something else.
Yeah. What I particularly love about the bookcase is the voids on either side, so the positive and the negative shapes that it creates. So I mean,
that's why it is there.
It cries out to be freestanding, to be as you say, some kind of element in space and not against a wall.
Yes,
it's
I think it's work, and it was interesting to use this L-shape shelving, turning upside down, turning on the two sides, and so it's very simple. And I think it's nice when you have few elements, but with that you're still able to compose different
and you can elaborate them, as you say, a fantastic system. I think we're running out of time, but one last question for you, Ferruccio. So, I mean, you've been to the Salone many times. I'm not saying you're old,
but
I'm saying you're wise. But do you think there's enough? Do you think we've lost the ambition to be risk taking in this industry? Do you see? Do you think there's more of too much kind of commonality?
No, what I think today, a lot of people ask me what I think about the salone and the industrial furniture. I said that this is my job and this is the things that I love more. So I don't feel this work, industrial design, as some negative
Connotation.
yes, because I think that lately industrial designs because something quite cheap and things like that, and so you have to make the special edition and things like that. And I think it's more hard to find creativity inside of an industrial piece. I think that the things that I love to make this job, and I still like it after many years that I do this on mobile, is that the big goal for us, I think, as a designer, is to make something that is affordable to the old people.
Right.
Of course, that today you don't need to have a new bookcase, you don't need to have a new chair, something like that. So it's up to you to be so wise and clever to create something that makes people falling in love with the new object that you want to buy and take home with you, or because it represents you more than another one you have at home.
Yeah.
So it's just about, I think, more than the product itself, about desire, about the way you designing things, you conceive the things, and probably a little piece of heart that you put inside of the job.
Right.
Because anyway, also if of course this one is for commercial use, let's say, but of course that every time that I say something that I design, I give a little bit of my culture, of my heritage, of my of my know-how, of my family, and everything is infused inside of this project. So if everything exists here, if this is the Salone del Mobile, exists the Fuori Salone, and all these people that came here, and all this design week that now is worldwide every 2 months, is because 16 years ago, the Salone del Mobile decided to put under one head all this company that work to make industrial products.
Yeah.
So I will be always a big defender of this kind of philosophy, because I think it's allow us to reach the people with something that we do, and maybe put a little bit of culture and education to the hearts of the other one. So I think that I don't want to be a teacher, I'm not to teach to anybody. But I think that also sometimes to make this job is also a cultural act.
Yeah, absolutely, and make design an act of generosity, as you say. At Architonic, we firmly believe that premium doesn't mean luxury.
Yeah.
That and hopefully bring a bit of irony back as well into the mix.
Yeah,
I think we're missing that a bit. Ferruccio, lovely to see you again. See you next time. Thank you so much for your time. Grazie mille. Grazie.